from Book Lover Paloma, and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 books that I read in 2015. And these are books I read, not that came out. So I'm just gonna tell you guys my top 10 books I read this year, and they're not gonna be in any specific order except for the last three, which are gonna be like my top 3. And so yeah, let's just get started. Okay. Also joining me today are my stuffed animals, Christmas Stitch. You see, I got him for Christmas. And my Build-A-Bear workshop. His name's Osito. Isn't he so cute? So they're gonna be like joining me here today because stuffed animals, who doesn't love them? They're amazing. Okay, so the first book is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and I read this book in February and I absolutely loved it. I can't wait for the next book, Glass Sword, which comes out February 9th, and I absolutely love this book. It's basically about this girl named Mare, and her society is divided into two classes, people with silver blood and people with red blood, and red blood are like the just regular people, while the silver blood are like royalty, you know, really rich, and they have superpowers. And basically Mare, she's a red blood, so she is a regular person until she discovers she has powers. But she's a red blood, so how is that possible? And she goes to the castle and she has an adventure. So Red Queen, amazing book, absolutely loved it. The next book is Everything by Nicola Yoon, and this book I absolutely loved it, and it's just an amazing book. And I have a book talk for this book coming out. I'll leave a link to it down below when I finish doing it. But everything, amazing book. The next book is actually a series I read this year. I read them in May, and that series is the Selection series. These books are amazing. I absolutely loved it. The first book, The Selection, the second book, The Elite, and the third book, The One. I absolutely loved them. And then I also read The Heir, which I absolutely hated. So I don't even know why this book is here, but just because it's in the series and I have to include this series because I love this series, and I don't really like The Heir. The last book in the series, The Crown, is coming out May 3rd, and I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna read it, but I really don't like this book. So this book should not be here on the list, but these books are, because these books are amazing. Next on my list is To All the Boys I Loved Before, because I love this book, and I love the second book. P.S. I Still Love You. I read these both in May, and I absolutely love these books. These books are amazing. So, yeah. These books are amazing. I love them. So, these books are definitely on my list. About this girl named Lara Jean, and she has loved 5 boys in her life, and she writes a letter to them, telling them she loves them, but she never sent them those letters. And then one day they get sent out, and things just get really crazy from there. And it's a really cute novel, so I just absolutely love that. Next on my list is another series that I read, and I just read these books in November, and these books are Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Hollow City, and Library of Souls. So I just read this whole series in November, and I absolutely love these books. These books are about this boy named Jacob whose grandpa told him peculiar stories about peculiar children, and as he got older he doesn't believe in them, but then he actually meets them, and so yeah, it's an adventure from there on. And I absolutely love these books. I love the black and white pictures in them. They're just amazing, and they're making a movie out of the book. They're making a movie out of this book, and I just can't wait to see it when it comes out. So this series. I absolutely love this. Did not expect to love it as much as I did, but I absolutely love it, so it deserves to be on this list. Next on my list is Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses, because I absolutely love this book. It's by Sarah J. Maas, who, if you watch my other videos, you probably already know that she's my favorite author in the whole wide world, because she is just amazing. I just love her books. So, Court of Thorns and Roses, I read it when it came out because I just needed to, and I just love this book. It's about this girl named Feyre. She kills a wolf who turns out to be a fairy, and so another fairy who's friends with the wolf has to come and take her, and it's like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and I absolutely loved it so much. I read this in May. This is like one of my favorite books. I can't wait for the second book to come out, A Court of Mist and Fury. It comes out May 3rd, and I'm gonna buy it, of course, because Sarah J. Maas, my favorite author. I love this book, so it deserves it, of course, in this video, of course. The next book series, this is the series I also read this year, is the Lunar Chronicles. I read the first 3 books in July, and I also read Ferris, which is like tells Levana's story, and these are fairy tale retellings too. They take place in the future, and it's kind of like dystopian sci-fi. And the first one, Cinder, retelling of Cinderella. Second one, Scarlet, retelling of Little Red Riding Hood. And the third one's Crest, a retelling of Rapunzel. And then there's Ferris. And then just this month, December, I read the last book, Winter. And this is Snow White retelling, and I absolutely love this series. So sad it's over, but it was a really good series. I have a book talk on Winter coming out, and just wait for it, and when it comes out, I'll leave a link to it down below in the description box. And I can't wait for Stars Above, which is like a collection of mini short stories of the series, and it comes out February 2nd, which is not that far away, so I can't wait for it. And these books are just amazing, so they have to be on my list. So now I'm down to my last 3, and I'm going to be doing my third, then second, then first favorite, which is like my favorite of this whole year. And so, let's get started. Okay, so number 3 on this list is The Infernal Devices. I just read this series this year. I read them in June. And oh my gosh, I fell in love with these books. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with Will, with Jan, and with Tessa. Will right here, he's my boyfriend. Jan right here, he's another one of my boyfriends. And then Tessa right here, she's just amazing. I just love her. And this series is amazing, by Cassandra Clare, my 3rd favorite author. And oh my gosh, yes. I love their books. Can't wait. I just can't wait for the Dark Artifices or something like that to come out. And Shadowhunters are amazing. I can't wait for the show Shadowhunters to come out. I'm so excited for that. So yeah, this series is amazing. So I just so glad I read this series this year, which is why it's my 3rd favorite book series that I read this year. Taking spot number 2 on my list is The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare. Again, I also just read this series this year in May. So glad I read them. These books, oh my god, I'm so glad I found these books, that I read them, because I just love these books. I read every single one of them. I just can't wait for Lady Midnight to come out next year. It comes out March 8th. Oh my god, I just can't wait for Lady Midnight. I have the first book, City of Bones. The second book, City of Ashes, which I don't have with me right now because my friend's borrowing it. I can't let her borrow it, but she wants to read the series. I let her borrow it because I'm making her read the series. So yeah, and I have the third book, City of Glass. Here. Then I have the fourth book, City of Fallen Angels. Boom. Then I I have the 5th book, City of Lost Souls. Boom. And then I have the last book, this huge humongous City of Heavenly Fire. So I love these books. Can't wait for the show Shadowhunters to come out. They better not ruin it, because it better not be like the movie, because the movie was horrible. But so I have high hopes. I feel like they're going to do good with these books, the show. Yes. I love these books. Okay, and now, the time you guys been waiting for. Or something like that. I don't know. But the first, number 1 on my list is a series. And that series is, drumroll please. Wait, let's see if you guys can guess. Try to guess. It's a series. What is number 1 on my list? Which series it is? But guess. And now, for reals, the drum roll. And that series is Throne of Glass series. I absolutely love these books. Oh my gosh, they're by Sarah J. Maas, my favorite author. I have book talks on all of these books. The first book, Throne of Glass, I read this in January, and I read this book. I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh, I have never read anything like this before. I was just I just absolutely loved it. I loved this book and the whole series. I read Crown of Midnight also in January. Then I read Heir of Fire in February. Then also in February, I read The Assassin's Blade, which is like a bunch of like novellas about what happened before Throne of Glass, which I loved too. And then in October, I read Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th book in the series. And oh my gosh, these books oh my gosh, I just love them. I have book talks on all of these except The Assassin's Blade. And I just love these books so much. Let me see. Here they are. I love this series so much. I'm so glad I read them, especially this year. And then I just can't wait for the 5th book to come out, and oh, I just love these books so much. You don't know how much I love these. Sarah J. Maas, my favorite author. These series, my favorite series. Oh, I love them. And if you haven't read these books, I don't know what you're doing. You need to read these books. The first one, Throne of Glass. Like, if I could, I would like get this book and like stick it to the camera so I can give it to you and read it. No, I wouldn't do that because it's my book. You could go buy it yourself or like at the library or something. But yeah, here, take it, read it, read this, read it, because these books are amazing, and these are number 1 on my list because they're number 1. Thanks guys for watching. Those were my favorite books of 2015, because 2015 was an amazing year for me. I read a total of 85 books, and I completed my Goodreads reading challenge, and next year I plan on reading way more books, like way more, but it's gonna be hard because school and like other things. I don't have other things because I don't socialize. I have no life, people. No life at all. But thanks for watching, guys. I'm Paloma from Book Lover Paloma. And you guys, tell me which books you read this year of 2015. And tell me which books you're most excited to read in 2016. I have a bunch, like Lady Midnight, The Crown, A Court of Mist and Fury, Trials of Apollo, the first book. Is it The Hidden Oracle? I'm pretty sure it is. Then The Hammer of Thor, which is the 2nd book in the, what's that book called? The, Magnus Chase books. Then, like, I have a whole list of them. You see? Can you see? Like, this whole list right here. 2016 releases. You see? Let me see. Ooh. It's a lot. And then, more right here. You see? Yeah, it's a lot, and there's more. Like, just can't wait for all these books to come out next year. 2016 is going to be an amazing year, guys. I already know it. Especially with you guys here watching. Like, thank you. Thank you very much. So, I'm Paloma from Book Lover Paloma, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.